Hey there, Golden Valley. John with the Park and Rec Department bringing you a very special episode of Home Rec. This week marks the 1-year anniversary of when we launched this program. We've brought you over almost 150 episodes of this with activities and opportunities for you to do at home throughout this pandemic, which unfathomably is also at the 1-year anniversary. But we hope that this has brought you joy, opportunities to bring your family together, perhaps even brought you a little bit of opportunity to feel normal while doing things at home over this past year. So this week's activity, we are going to take a look at nature. Mother Nature here in Minnesota is a very fickle being and likes to taunt us with this amazing weather that we've had lately. But us Minnesotans also know that come early, wet, warm, and nice weather also means we're in store for at least, one more dash of winter. Whether it be just the wind and cold and snow and blow, or one of those, spring blizzards that we've had recently. So with that in mind, if it is great and it is nice, I would encourage you to try and do today's activity outside, social distancing, but outside nonetheless. If not, the other purpose is how we can bring nature into your home, which sounds kind of funny, nature inside, but it is possible. So before I jump into that, there is a little something I've been doing a little research on because I heard this term a little while ago and wasn't quite sure what it was. Have any of you guys ever heard of the term biophilia? Up until a couple weeks ago, I had not. But biophilia is a theory that talks about the human connection between nature and the human beings. And that it is in our nature, it is in our instinct to want to connect with nature. Seems kind of odd, and maybe some of you are shaking your head and looking at me going, "You're nuts," and others of you going, yep. So, but anyways, there is that theory that this is not only a connection, but that nature can actually have healing principles for you. And not only can it be from, being out in nature, maybe touching it, feeling it, smelling it. It can also be something as simple as looking at a picture of nature and looking at that. Or perhaps it's even looking at something on the computer and hearing the sounds of nature. In fact, as I was doing a little bit of my research, I found this book, The Biophilia Effect by Clemens Arve. And there's a little piece of this, I don't want to get too into depth, but a little piece that I want to read that's really interesting before we jump into this activity. It talks about scientific studies have demonstrated that the mere view of nature, of a houseplant, can lead to faster recovery from an injury or surgery. It can help with stress reduction, as well as help you relax. It can even inspire joy and help frustration or anger disappear a little bit. Again, we talked about it. It can be as simple as photos of wilderness and nature. It can be sound recordings. And it's proven that these recordings are secondhand nature, are almost as conducive to our health and psyche as being out in nature or in wild itself. So this week's home rec activity is going to talk about bringing the biophilia effect into your home. And again, if you can do this outside because we've got a great spring day, go for it. Otherwise, we're going to look at it and try and experience nature in our home using our imagination and seeing where we can go, as well as exploring what our senses might tell us. So what I am going to challenge you to do as we do this is find something. I'm going to grab this houseplant behind me. I'm just going to hold it. I'm going to put it right in front of my face. I'm going to smell it a little bit. I'm going to feel it a little bit. Get my hands in the dirt. Kind of feel about that. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to close my eyes. I'm going to start breathing slowly and deeply. And I'm going to let my senses engage. I'm going to feel it. I'm going to smell. Kind of keep going. And I'm just going to keep breathing. This is still going to be here. and I'm just going to see where my imagination takes me. Continuing to breathe, keeping that connection between me and nature. And again, if you don't have a house plant or you don't have some bark or a rock that you can bring into the house, you can play those birds on the internet, or you can just open a window. Maybe you've got birds outside. But think about this and just continue to breathe. Probably do this after you're finished listening to me, so you don't have to listen to me drone on. But as you're doing that, let your imagination go. Maybe it takes you to one of your favorite places outdoors. Maybe it takes you to someplace you've always wanted to go but never been. But once you're done, take a minute and just kind of sit. You're really relaxed, and think about how you feel. So how do you feel? A little less stressed? If you were angry, are you less angry or frustrated? If you had pain, is that gone? Is it still there? It's gone? Or maybe, are you even happy? Are you smiling right now after thinking about that? So again, I talked a little bit about the big word biophilia, but again, that's simply just the connection of humans and nature. So today I challenge you to get out or bring nature into your own home. Relax, let your senses and your imagination take over, and see where it takes you. See how you feel as you go through this. So again, I'm John with the Park and Rec Department. Thanks again for joining us for another episode of Home Rec. And until next time, stay safe.